I guess it was 97, 1997, maybe 98. But I remember um, this kid. This kid lived across the street from us. Um, Brandon. Brandon. And his family was from Texas. And he was a hockey kid. He's always rollerblading up and down the block and stuff like that. Um, yeah, that had to be like 97. He didn't introduce me to hockey, but because my dad, my dad had definitely introduced me, and back then he was a Kings fan. I don't know what happened with that, but not big in hockey overall. But with me, I kind of took to it a little bit. I wish I would have played, but I ended up not. So I had already been exposed to it. Dad, the Kings and Wayne Gretzky, and my dad showed me all his cards and stuff. Anyways, so this kid Brandon across the street, he always has like his goal out in the little net, and I went out there and I don't even know why I'm telling this, and I got myself some rollerblades. We started skating around and shooting at the net and stuff, and that was cool. Anyways, he had a computer, and back then, I mean, not everybody had computers. I mean, I think cell phones were around, but it's like not especially not like a good computer. And I was always like, because my dad, he worked for some companies when I was a kid that were involved with computers and telephones and stuff like that. So he introduced me to a lot. I guess it's probably because of him, of why I grew up just loving video games and just playing. I mean, everybody loves video games to a certain extent. Some people don't. I shouldn't say that, but yeah. And so, at a young age, I was like building my own computers. I knew where the graphics card went. I knew what random access memory was, all that, the CPU shit, motherboard, blah blah, sound card, everything. At a young age. So I was on the block. I was known as the kid, like, oh, just call Rudy's kid, and he'll come over and take a look at your computer if it's not working. So back then in the 90s, in the late 90s, not everybody had a computer. With that being said, the people that did have computers definitely didn't have like a good fast computer, And back then it was, 56K and stuff like that. You'd have to tell people in your house, like, hey, I'm going on the internet, so you can't use the phone, because it was through the phone line. And yeah, I remember in that house too, on that street, legitimately going from my room at night, going to the living room and standing in front of my dad and my mom, if she was there on the couch or whatever, and asking them, hey, can I go on the internet for a little bit, But now it's like, it's crazy. Like, and I think my generation, people of my age, were just on the tail end of like knowing what it was like to not have a supercomputer in your pocket or not always be connected to the internet and in touch with people, yeah, I think and I'm thankful for that. Like I knew, like I still, when I was a kid, like I mean, sure, I got into video games, but I was still playing baseball and like running around with my friends. Like we had a good group of like neighborhood kids that would get together and just, get hurt and get in trouble and stuff like that. So I still feel like I had that childhood. Sometimes I look at my nephew and I'm like, man, I feel like an old man for saying this. I will be 32 this year, which is not old at all, but like it's reached that point where, yeah, I look at my nephew and I'm like, man, at your age, I was out, riding bikes, looking at girls, scraping my knee, getting hurt, I don't know. But, anyways, yeah. So, what was I saying? What was the point of all that? Brandon. So Brandon moved away. No, the whole point of this is my first internet multiplayer experience. Um, so Brandon had an okay computer. That's where I was at. Not everybody had a good computer. His family had a computer that could run Command and Conquer, Red Alert. I don't even know if I said that yet. Command and Conquer Red Alert was the first game I ever played on the internet. Yeah. And his computer could take it, so I remember it was me, Scott, Nathan, Drew. I don't know if Ryan was there. Ryan, it was weird. Ryan would be like, I think he was grounded a lot, but I didn't know why. I never knew why. I was grounded a lot too, for that matter. So yeah, Brandon, me, Scott, and Nathan for sure, and Drew. And it took us forever. Like, you had to boot up and like get the connection. And I think we did it by IP address. Maybe that was the only way. I think it was. Like you had to manually put in the IP address, which is probably still true now with a lot of things, but I don't know. That's how. Yeah, through your IP address and that. Yep. You'd type it in and then it would take forever, and then it would just be loading and loading and loading. Talk about load screens. Those ones, yeah. I mean, just for the internet to boot up. Everyone's heard that noise. But yeah, we got connected and I ended up, I forget who won, but I guess that doesn't matter. But yeah, Brandon moved away and that was that. And then well, hold on. Check it out. Look at that. The Nintendo 64 was released on June 23rd, 1996. And then what did I look up? And then Command. I guess I could just sit back, right? Rudy? Yeah. November 22nd, 1996. Command and Conquer Red Alert came out. Let's go forward. Damn. So that was like. Well, obviously the Nintendo 64 didn't have online capabilities. Um, so I guess apples and oranges in that case, but Nintendo 64. We would set up bracketed tournaments for GoldenEye, for fucking Mario Kart 64, for fucking, well, not for Zelda, but me and Scott. We love adventure games like that. Oh my god, we played so much. Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time, all that shit. And of course, other games too. There was a racing game that Nathan was really into. What was it called? It was fucking badass. And I don't like racing games, but that game, that was sick. Man, and it's so crazy to think back and, you know, neighborhood, childhood friends, like where they're at now and shit. Again, I'm only 32. It's not that old, but still thinking back. Like Scott, the guy who I'm basically talking about, who I played so much Nintendo 6. Oh, uh, 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 God damn it! What was that football game? That's the one. We would have big bracket because not only our group of friends would participate in that, but other people, and that's actually what got me into, like, I'm still not really into football, but like that, you know, presented that to me because football, like, you know, I love it now. I love watching it, and you know, but back then, that game. God damn it, what's it called? I forget. But yeah, so that this year, but I guarantee that. Oh man, Vietcong. Well, because of my dad, you know, building computers and all that, I really got into uh, PC gaming, and that was kind of my thing, you know. Man, Vietcong, is that what it was called? Hold on, dude. Let me see if I can find this. Vietcong PC game. Oh my god. 97%. Yeah, but what are those fuckers now? Tactical shooter, that's a stretch. It got released for PS2? Oh my god, dude. This game? Old games in 4K? That's kind of cool. I might have to watch that later. That's not a good review. But 2003, there it is. March 26, 2003, Vietcong came out. So, March? Oh my god. March 26, 2003. So, the tail end of my freshman year. I guess that sounds right. Yeah. Yeah. Because I remember playing this. We had a PC set up in my garage. So I'd have the garage door open. I remember Nathan would come riding up on his Razor because Razors were big. And he was a little younger than I was. But I was a skateboarder anyway, so like you know, you scoff at the Razor kids back then. But he'd come over. I remember playing it with him, or he'd watch me, or I'd let him play, or whatever. So that must have been then. Because I think Nathan is 2 years younger than me, so if that was my freshman year, yeah, he was like 7th grade. Yeah, so then the N64, that must have been, yeah, like 97, 98, 99. That makes sense. That makes sense because we moved there. I remember moving shit in and seeing the Olympics on TV, the Summer Olympics 1996, which I think was in Atlanta. There you go. I remember there was swimming. There were swimmers on TV. And we had one of those big box. It was a jumbo TV. It was like a big screen, and my dad was so proud of it, but it stuck out like this far from the wall. So like its width was like this. The screen was huge, but I don't know what you call that. There's probably a name for it. The type projector. It's not a projector. I don't know. But it was big. It's a big ass box, and I remember that was one of the last things that we kind of got rid of and replaced because I think my dad was pretty proud of getting that when he got it. So, and now we have them just hanging on the wall and stuff. Well, mine's not hanging on the wall. Yeah. So, Atlanta '96. So that makes sense. And then I met Scott and everybody. It probably took me a few months to like get to know him and stuff and start going to school. So what grade was that? 96. So I must have been starting. So 96 to 97 was something. Right? 97 to 98 was something. Oh, let's work backwards. So 2002 I started I started freshman year. So 01 to 02 was 8th grade. 2000, that's right, because I remember being in 7th grade and my sister graduating. She graduated in the year 2000. She was at the same high school. She was the millennial class. I was the centennial class because our high school started, that we graduated from, it started in 1906. I graduated in 2006, so that's the centennial class. She was the millennial class. So 01 to 02, that's 8th grade. 2000 to 2001, 7th grade. 99 to 2000, 6th grade. 98 to 99, 5th grade. Wow. 97 to 98, 4th grade. 96 to 97, 3rd grade. Holy shit. So I was, yeah, that makes sense because I was at Hopeview in 2nd grade, which is on the other side of town, and then I was at Perry, yeah, for 3rd grade. Holy fuck. Wow. Yeah, I remember so many things. Well, of course I do. Fucking idiot. Yeah, fuck. What was the point of that? I don't even know. I do know. Oh yeah, I was just, I guess. Let me get rid of this. I was recollecting. I was remembering. Um, when what was the first play? The first time I ever played online, a game online. For some reason, I was thinking about that. I'm not a huge gamer. I used to be a huge gamer when I was a kid. And these are those times I'm speaking of now. Um, but not so much anymore. I mean, like I look at good, solid. I used to hate stories in games when I was a kid. I'd play games like open world games like Battlefield. Like when Battlefield 1942 came out for the PC, done. That was my jam for. And to this day, like there's a soft spot in my heart for Battlefield, the Battlefield franchise. Like, you know, now they're very AAA mainstream, but back then, they were just a little PC game that, that were redefining first person shooters. I mean, could you even call them that at that point? And it's not like the Battlefield games now where you can choose. There's only a limited amount of pilots or uh, people in tanks or whatever to command a tank, and then you just start in the tank. Like in Battlefield 1942, and there are some titles I haven't played within the Battlefield franchise, so I don't know. I can't speak on behalf of those, but in Battlefield 1942, you had to spawn somewhere, and like run to go get a tank, or an airplane or whatever, a fighter or a bomber, and it was just all games, especially PC games, were so much like there was a pace to them that is not present any. I mean, I'm sure it is, but you gotta get you gotta do like some Arma stuff or Squad or something slow paced and a little more tactical, in the bigger picture, which is I'd love to start playing Squad, but I don't have the money for a real good PC because I used to be such not a snob, but just so anal about my settings and things. Like I just, as any PC gamer, you want it to look the best and blah blah blah. You're always tweaking shit and upgrading, getting a new graphics card or power supply, blah blah. So I was always in that mindset. So I'd love to get into games like Arma or, like I said, Squad, because I think I don't know too much about it, but I know that there are developers from Project Reality, which was a modification for Battlefield 2, which came out in 2005, which I played a lot of. A lot of those developers, I forget what development went and developed Squad, and I've watched videos of a lot of guys playing Squad, and it's set up a lot like Project Reality was, but because it's their own title and they develop their own, probably not engine, but just framework for the game in general, they could add what they wanted, and it looks really cool. But like something like that, like if I got something like that and didn't have a good enough PC, like right now, I wouldn't even play it. I wouldn't even fuck with it because I know I get too obsessed. So I'm waiting until I can actually get a legitimate fucking badass PC that can run something like that at the highest ultra settings, And that's why I like consoles now a lot, is because like if there is a solid game that, like an Uncharted or The Last of Us or God of War, it comes out like an adventure game that has a good solid storyline, which I like to play now. Consoles are great for that. But I used to be a PC guy. I think at heart, I think I'll always be. You know, WASD with the mouse. It's like nothing beats it, especially when it comes to shooters and stuff. So, God, I went so off top. This was supposed to be just about me remembering the time that I I first played video games online, and that was it. Red Alert Command and Conquer, 1997 ish, probably. So I remember being so obsessed with MLB 1997. Well, let's look that up. Okay. Oh, dude, when did? Is Ken Griffey Jr. still alive? Oh, fuck. He's 50. I think that was Joel. Oh, shit. Damn, he's got 3 kids. Damn. He's 50. What's gonna be mostly of him? He closed out his season with the Reds, right? Or his career. Man, those old Mariners jerseys. No, what I want is. What was that game called? Major League Baseball featuring Ken Griffey Jr. That's what it was called. Damn, look at these fucking release. There you go. May 31st, 1998. So, I played my first online game in 97 with Red Alert Command & Conquer. I remember begging my dad for this game and another game for PlayStation 1. It was another baseball game for PlayStation 1. Fuck. Let's just do this. Don't know what I'm talking. PS1. There you go. I'm going to have to fucking search it. December 3rd, 94. Shit, dude. PlayStation 1 came out in 1990. Wow. Wow. I don't even know. Did I have a PlayStation before moving to... I don't think I did. I don't think I did. That must have been. That was the game. Scott always gives me shit because he beat me in a home run derby. I forget the name. It was like MLB 97. Here, PS1, we'll put in MLB 1997. There you go. That's it, right there. All-Star Baseball MLB 98. Oh, fuck. It could be any of these. Oh, my God. 989 Sports. Oh, my God. Holy fuck my ass, dude. Look at this. That's the game. Wow. That's the cover. Jesus. Wow. Shit, I'm a 90s kid, man. Like legit. Like when kids used to play outside and shit. And scrape their knees and get in trouble and steal shit. Yeah. Fuck, Vietcong. Oh my God. Dude, I used to think these graphics were fucking amazing and being so pissed that my computer... Oh my... Actually, that still looks really good. Look at that shit. No, I don't want to download the game. What are you doing? Actually, it'd be kind of cool to play the game. Look at those trees. See, oh my God, look at... Dude, I used to fucking be so mesmerized by these graphics right here. Wish you could see. Wow. Wow. A Mossberg shotgun. Vietcong 2? What? Hold up. Give it a goog. Old games in 4K, so it's not 82% like this video game. 2005? Oh man, I must have just checked out. Vietcong 2. 2K games, huh? You know what happened? I know exactly what happened. Vietcong came out in 2003, the first one. I started playing that. I loved it for multiple reasons. My dad was in Vietnam in a search and destroyed, platoon or squad, Still suffering from his PTSD from that, but that's beside the point. I was just, as a kid, he was like, dude, my dad's a fucking soldier, I didn't learn until later about the politics and about everything that was so rotten and controversial about the conflict in Vietnam. I just figured he was, when I was a kid, he's just as heroic as any other soldier. And he is. He is. But I didn't know about how he was treated or what he saw or what he was told to do and blah, blah, blah. List goes on and on. But I was just so proud of him. So, not proud, but he's my dad, So, you get it. And that whole time period I got obsessed with, That's why I got really into classic rock at a young age, Was just so obsessed with, like, K Earth 101 in Southern California. I used to play all oldies. Well, they still play oldies, but now the oldies are like the 80s, you know? Or even the 90s, you know? I don't know, actually. Don't hold me to that because I don't listen to the radio ever. I haven't listened to it in, I don't even remember the last time I turned on the radio. I'm either listening to some music or a podcast or something in my car. And of course there was K Rock, and I remember my sister would all, like, if we were on a road trip or just in the car in general, my sister would always want, like, say, oh, put on K Rock, you know. And I'd always try and be like, no, K 101, put on some oldies, you know. And that just stems from my obsession with everything. I mean, I wrote a report on Lyndon B. Johnson in 5th grade, something like that. Just because I knew that he was president when my dad was in Vietnam. Like, literally. So, I guess that says a lot about what I think about my dad. Armed assault. But yeah. So what happened was, this probably, I'm gonna say Vietnam. This came out in 2003, the first one, Vietcong. Battlefield 1942 came out in 2002. I probably got a better computer, upgraded it, because I was always so obsessed with that little box on the back when computer games actually came in boxes, and you'd have to take them off the shelf and, like, look at the box and have a little flap you could open up. And then even when you open up the box, there's a pamphlet you could read through it. Oh, here are the controls, blah, blah, blah. Then you smell it, and it smells like fresh ink. And you're just like, yes, that's the smell of a new game, right? Or anything. An album, or a book, even, you know? So there was a little box on the back of that box that... Actually, I don't know. I think only recommended system requirements were on the back of boxes. Oh no, minimum. I think they only put minimum system requirements, but if you bought the game and looked in the pamphlet that was inside, there's minimum system requirements and then recommended system requirements. And I probably bugged my dad or whatever back in 2003. Oh my god. To take me to Fry's and buy me Battlefield 1942 and help me build this computer. And I remember whenever my computer wouldn't work, I'd yell for him, Dad, my computer's not working, can you help me? And what a trip. What a fucking trip. But yeah, that's probably what happened. I eventually probably got what I wanted. And yeah. 2003 I probably started playing. Well, let's see. Battlefield 1942 release date. So towards the tail end, September 10th, 2002. Oh, I remember having tournaments with Battlefield 1942 also. What a trip, man. Battlefield Vietnam, March 14th, 2004. Did I play this? I don't think I ever played this. I think Battlefield 1943 was them trying to rekindle what they sort of captured in Battlefield 1942. Guadalcanal, yeah. See, this is all like I do remember this. Playing Battlefield 1943 in 2019.
Monday.com is a work OS designed to manage any project or workflow with ease. The flexibility of...
Hi guys and welcome to Battlefield 1943. Yes, your eyes do not deceive you. This has recently gone into backwards compatibility on the Xbox, so I thought that I would jump in and just play it again for old time's sake. Let's get a bit of nostalgia on the go and have some fun.
Oh my god, look at this.
Coming up soon for Battlefield 5.
Oh, I think I did play this.
The map you're seeing here is Guadalcanal. It's America versus the Japanese, of course, and I just thought that I'd get some live reactions, some highlights, and see if we can have some fun. Now you may have noticed.
All right, okay, all right. I think I have played that. Oh my god, I remember in 2008. When did Battlefield? I'm just gonna do this. I gotta go to bed. Battlefield Heroes release date. Release date. 2009. That's exactly right. Yes, because yes, and then that's right around. What's the video game conference in LA? Oh my god. I don't know. But they had a booth there, and I read about it. And at the time, I was living in Long Beach, and the convention center is right next to Staples Center. I'm a Kings fan, so we would always take the blue line, drop you off right in front of Staples Center. So I remember going by myself once I found out that they had a booth there. I didn't have a pass or anything into E3. I didn't have a pass, obviously. But I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to go there and see what I can do. I made it to their outer booth. This janitor dude... Well, I made it to their booth, and then it was just a bullshit thing. Like, you could see, like, somebody playing it. You could play, like, a little demo if you want. But it was stupid. I wanted to get inside, you know? Not only for this, but to see everything, you know? And this janitor dude, after me making rounds around the convention center and just kind of like scoping out the place, this janitor guy I met smoking a cigarette. He's like, yeah, I could get you in, just like, you know, just don't be weird. I think that's what he said. I don't know. So we went in to like, it was like an unmarked door on the side of the convention center. You know how there's sometimes like Staples Center or anything, any big place has like those random blank doors. Well, this was one of them, and usually they're like some sort of janitorial or maintenance or like an electrical room or a server room or whatever. And that door is there for service. So he takes me through here, and then we go through this other place, and there's like these locker rooms where I'm guessing all the other janitors like change or whatever. And that was it. He's like, all right, have fun. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't have like a thing hanging around my neck. And he's like, just, you know what to do. Just stick, don't, like, nobody's gonna check you, especially if you're only gonna leave. Like, you can't come back in. I'm like, yeah, you're right. So, I went and did that. Dude, Battlefield Hardline. What the fuck was that? 2015. Anyways, I went into E3. I didn't even stay long because everything, you know. I literally just went for Battlefield, and I think I was just bored that day. Oh, I remember why I went. I remember. Yeah. I was looking to get away from somebody. Let's just leave it at that. Nothing bad. Mm-mm. Alright, I think we're done here. I gotta piss. I'm tired. Alright, peace.